You might assume that as creatures, we are inherently designed for happiness. However, the unfortunate truth is that our wiring does not prioritize happiness. The driving force of natural selection is survival and reproduction, not our emotional well-being. Consequently, being happier is not necessarily a priority. In today's world, people are experiencing lower levels of happiness than ever before. Disturbingly, approximately 40% of college students in the United States report being too depressed to function on most days. This trend is not limited to young individuals, as older generations also face similar challenges. Clearly, something is amiss, and we need to rectify our approach. To feel happier, we must first acknowledge that our minds often deceive us. Psychologists such as Dan Gilbert and Tim Wilson refer to this phenomenon as miswanting. We pursue certain things under the assumption that they will make us happy, only to discover that they do not bring the level of happiness we anticipated. This discrepancy arises from inherent flaws in our thought processes, which hinder our ability to grasp happiness accurately. One significant flaw is our reliance on intuition to guide us toward happiness. However, research consistently demonstrates that many of our intuitive beliefs about happiness are simply incorrect. For instance, we often believe that more money will lead to greater happiness. However, once our basic needs are met, additional wealth does not significantly contribute to our overall well-being. The same can be said for other factors such as career advancement, material possessions, and even marriage. Our misconception stems from a misinterpretation of the Rolling Stones' famous line. The real problem lies not in our inability to obtain what we desire, but rather in our pursuit of the wrong things. Another flaw in our minds is our tendency to compare ourselves to others. We establish reference points against which we measure our own achievements and circumstances. This behavior, known as setting a reference point, causes us distress because we often feel dissatisfied as long as someone else is doing better. Thus, even if objectively, we are doing well in life, the presence of others' success can diminish our own happiness. Furthermore, our minds have a peculiar way of adapting to circumstances. Initially, new experiences bring us great joy, but over time, we become accustomed to them. This phenomenon, called hedonic adaptation, results in the reduced impact of positive events on our happiness. Unfortunately, we are not fully aware of this adaptation process, leading to an additional bias known as the impact bias. We tend to overestimate the long-term impact of positive events on our happiness, when in reality, the effect diminishes more quickly than we expect. Now, let's explore 5 ways to rewire our behavior for greater happiness. These practices, which I refer to as rewirements, enable us to counter our innate biases and improve our well-being. The first and foremost rewirement is prioritizing social connections. Numerous studies consistently highlight the importance of social interaction in fostering happiness. Happy individuals tend to spend time with others, valuing relationships with friends and family. Unfortunately, our lack of social connection often stems from the erroneous belief that it does not significantly impact our well-being. Research by Nick Epley reveals a bias called undersociality, wherein we consistently underestimate the positive effects of social connections. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, we should utilize our phones to engage in meaningful conversations with loved ones. Genuine connections, preferably in person or in real time, can profoundly enhance our overall well-being. Another behavior that significantly affects our happiness is engaging in acts of kindness toward others. Shifting our focus from self-care to being more other-oriented can yield remarkable results. Contrary to popular belief, selflessness contributes more to happiness than self-centeredness. Happy individuals are more inclined to donate to charity, volunteer their time, and offer compliments freely. We can also rewire our thought patterns to cultivate greater happiness. Instead of fixating on the negatives and daily hassles of life, we should cultivate a mindset that appreciates the blessings we have. Countless studies demonstrate that happy people tend to focus on the positives. If this does not come naturally, a simple practice of writing down 3 to 5 things we are grateful for each night can significantly enhance our well-being in just a matter of weeks. Another beneficial thought pattern involves consciously paying attention to the positive aspects of life. Often, our good circumstances go unnoticed as we get caught up in our daily routines. We fail to savor and truly appreciate the delightful experiences that come our way. To counteract this, we should practice savoring, taking the time to fully relish and pay attention to the good things that happen in our lives, even the seemingly small ones. For example, instead of mindlessly consuming a delicious latte while distracted by emails, we should savor every sip and fully appreciate its taste and aroma. Welcome to Life Mastery. Lastly, we must not overlook the profound connection between our bodies and minds. Engaging in physical activity is a quick and effective way to improve our emotional state. Exercise is closely intertwined with our mental health, and even moderate movement for as little as 20 minutes a day can have a significant impact on our overall well-being. It is crucial to listen to our negative emotions, as they serve as important signals. Anger, sadness, fear, and frustration are all part of the human experience. These emotions convey valuable messages, prompting us to make necessary changes or seek support from friends. Instead of attempting to suppress negative emotions, we should learn to regulate them in positive and constructive ways. However, it is important to note that while these rewirements can be immensely helpful in improving our general well-being, they may not suffice in cases involving severe mental disorders or acute emergencies. If you find yourself in such situations, it is crucial to seek specialized care from a psychotherapist or mental health professional. Ultimately, the key to transforming our levels of happiness lies in implementing these strategies, rather than merely acquiring knowledge about them. Understanding alone is not enough, we must actively apply what we have learned. By embracing these rewirements, we can genuinely elevate our levels of happiness and flourish in life.